You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it back there. Yeah, I got game, got in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it turnpike miles. Yeah, it's Buku signing on.
Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Once a Week. I'm extremely happy about this message today, guys, because Andrea Urciuoli is back on the show with us. She's been here a couple weeks. If you haven't seen her videos, you gotta check them out. And this week's video is somewhat of a continuation of our message last week, because we started talking about this book, Becoming Supernatural, by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Guys, this book is so powerful, and it can help you so much in your life. And me and Andrea have been talking about this, and there's a message today that I feel can help you, can help me, can help Andrea just continue to pursue the life that we want and to intentionally manifest it and create everything that you want and start to bring it to fruition. So Andrea, I thank you for being back on the show.
Thanks, Billy. Thank you so much. Yeah, so the buzzword today is manifest. Isn't such a great word? I get excited when I hear that word. So in the beginning of the book, you and I were talking about a few different scenarios, but I think I'm a little bit more ahead. And I wanted to bring this up to you today because I got really excited about how Dr. Joe Dispenza is helping his clients manifest the life that they want.
Yeah.
So I want to bring up an example that he used with his son. That his son was, I'll just be short and sweet, that his son was struggling financially, struggling to find the right job, and he had called his dad, who was a very successful and generous father, and his father said, I'm not going to give you the money that you need, and he basically said, you know what to do, and hung up the phone. And when you're reading it, you're like, oh, but it was the tough love thing that a lot of us have experienced in life, and when you come to that realization, that was like, his father was like his guardian angel. Yeah. He did that in a loving way because he wanted to show his son that you are capable of doing this on your own.
Yeah.
So we had an exercise for his son, and he trained his son how to properly manifest with intention.
Cool.
So what he did is he had his son write down what he needed in life.
Okay.
Job. So he wrote the J, big J with a big sun around it.
Yeah.
And then he had two columns, and to the left of the J for the job, or C for career, whatever letter you choose, he wanted to know his thoughts and intentions. And I just want to bring this up to our audience because it's such a great activity, and it's a feel-good activity.
Oh, yeah.
And it really makes sense for the whole mindfulness topic that we're going for, because when you're helping yourself, you're helping the world. Exactly. And don't be afraid of that. So we had his bullet points were, I want to work anywhere in the world. I want to make the same amount of money or more as I did in my previous job. I want a 6-month contract. I want to love what I do. And I want to be my own boss and create my own team. Very specific. Column 2, elevated emotions. I love this. Yeah. Dr. Joe Dispenza says, it's hard to manifest something if you can't already visualize it and if you can't already feel it and see it. Okay. So sometimes we don't get what we want in life because we don't really see it. We don't really feel it. We have pipe dreams. Yeah. I want this job. I want this relationship. I want everything to be this way. But you kind of downplay it and you don't really put it out there and you're not feeling it in your energy field. And feeling it means that level of excitement when you went to Disney World for the first time, or you got that job you wanted in high school or college, that feeling of like, oh, they called me. I'm the one that burst.
Exactly, yeah.
So if you can go to a place while you're meditating or you're alone or just go to that place of an elevated emotion, name the feelings. And his son said the feelings were empowerment, in love with life, absolutely free and grateful. Yeah. Putting that out there, well, he ended up walking into a surf shop less than 2 weeks later, and somebody approached him, and he got the exact job he wanted with those benefits, that money. He was that specific. So I don't think this is
Yeah.
a crock. I think it's fascinating.
No, I think it's absolutely incredible because we all have this ability to manifest something, to bring to fruition what we want in our life. And Dr. Joe Dispenza goes over this example with this guy and how he wrote down, all right, he needed a job, but he wanted to be the job that he wanted. So the first aspect that sticks out to me is you write it down. That's something that's been instilled in me since I was a kid. And my dad, when he was about 10 years old, he just wrote down everything that he wanted to accomplish in his life. And now my dad's in his 50s, and he's accomplished everything that he wanted to accomplish in his life. Because he put it there, he put a date next to it, saying, I want to accomplish this by I'm 17, by I'm 25. So he got so precise with what he wanted. When he started writing it down, that was the first step. And then what I think is perfect in this book that he explains is the kid, this guy that wanted a job, he went for it. I think he unconsciously did it, but when we write down what we want, we start to move towards it. So that's the first step. Next one, in the book, he describes that he went with his buddies on this trip, this area he loved, just for a fun trip. Thinking about all this stuff that he wanted, the elevated emotions, everything coming into it, enjoying where he's at with his buddies, having a blast, walks into this shop.
Yeah.
Guy offers him a job.
Exactly the job
I need a designer to do this stuff, everything. He's like, I'll do it. It was the exact money and everything like that. But my biggest thing is he wrote it down, but he took action on it by going on that trip with his friends. He went where he wanted to go. He went into the area that he did, but he went. He got up and did it. So when you write something down, we can't just all right, I want to do this by the time I'm 35 years old.
No, that's not intent. Right.
I'm going to sit and watch TV.
Right. So manifesting, and thank you for clarifying that, and we'll clarify that even more for our guests, because manifesting doesn't just mean putting it out there like, I really want that house.
Yeah.
Okay, done. Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And how is it going to feel? And can you see it? Do you see the yard? Do you see friends coming over? Do you see your children playing? Like, you have got to see the screen, the movie before, whether it's the job, the house, relationship. This whole manifestation means love what the outcome is.
Exactly.
Feel what the outcome is. Because if you're still feeling lack of, and these are all the topics that you and I discuss every other week, lack of, abundance. Do you already feel you're not going to get that if you don't already feel abundant in your life. If you keep walking down the road of I don't have, and I can't, and I might not, or they're not going to like me, and I don't know if I have the credentials, and I don't know if that client's going to call me back. Well, you're in a place of self-sabotage.
Exactly.
You're not manifesting, and to properly manifest. Specifically, he says not only to have bullet points and have your character letter out there, but to feel it before the movie starts.
Exactly, and that's where the visualization comes into play, where you got to picture yourself. You got to picture that this is coming towards you, this is what you want, this is going to happen, because it's in you for a reason. And I think manifesting, visualizing, and creating the life you want, my personal life, I run everything to the big man upstairs. I'm sitting there, I was like, when you say a prayer, you got to be precise with what you want in life. If you got to be precise in how you want God to help you. You got to be precise in what you're saying. You can't just say, help me with this, and just let it go. It's like, Father, please help me so-and-so, but be as precise as you can, just as he's saying with manifesting. And when you do that, you visualize it, and when you're visualizing something with what you want, where you're praying or you're writing it down, whatever it is, visualize that you're getting that help, and that help is on its way to you, and then you're moving towards it. The blessings that you want in life, believe that the blessings are coming towards you, and you can move forth in them. And with this precise aspect, something that me and Andrea have talked about before, that's bigger than most people let on to, and a lot of people get stumped with that out of fear. Don't be afraid to write down, to ask, to pray, whatever works for you. Do not be afraid to be so specific in what you want, and shoot for the moon. Like, literally.
Fear, you're right, using the buzzword fear, all these little buzzwords, because the fear will hold you back.
Exactly.
And that will be one of and I study energy healing, I'm a Reiki practitioner. Those are energy blocks. Mm-hmm. That's lack of. That's like in the lower part of our body, your base chakra, when that's blocked. You are living in a state of fear.
Yeah.
And fear you're not going to go to that elevated level of this good stuff
Exactly.
if you're afraid of.
Yeah.
So, but to release that, that's why I love journaling, to release that fear, get your notebook out like you said,
Yeah.
and what are you afraid of? What happened in your childhood? Now, you had mentioned your father. I think that's awesome that your father did that. I didn't come from that place.
Yeah.
My father didn't journal. He didn't write down, you know, with all due respect, he wasn't raised that way. He had no idea to do that. But he didn't have bullet points. He did have a decent job, and he just didn't, he visualized nice things, and we did have nice things, but he wasn't clear, and there were pitfalls and ups and downs, and there were a few financial struggles, but we did fine, but I had to develop this skill on my own, and I learned this to visualization and manifestation and releasing fear and knowing that fear doesn't do us any justice.
Exactly. And like you said, you're to go learn on your own. That is a testament to you got to take action on it. Without even knowing you were taking action on this and you coming to learning all this stuff, your life has changed dramatically since you came and learned this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it's continuing.
Oh, it's continuing, and I would like to use a friend as an example. She's actually a client and a friend. She's a great client. I've been working with her for a few years now, and she's one of my best clients, and she's gone through a very, very, very traumatic experience in her life. And I had recently been invited to her house. We've been friends for years. She would never invite me to her home. And our sons are friends. And I asked her why, and she said, no, I just don't want anybody to see it. She was embarrassed, fearful of judgment.
Exactly.
That I would judge her home. And in my mind, I already had a movie of how horrible it could be. Maybe they're on the floor. I don't know how they live. Well, it was none of that. I finally got invited to the home. And now I stopped by unannounced, and I brought her flowers the other day, and we're even closer now because I had to work with her to get rid of that self-sabotage that this one's home is bigger than her home, therefore what does that make me or her a better person, smarter, more...
It's crazy the judgments that will run through.
We had to wash all that away, and I will tell you that lightened the load for working with her and just almost clarifying her negative thoughts about how they lived. And I said, oh my God, your home is lovely. And so what if it's not 5,000 square feet, I'm just throwing out a number. So what if it's not this way? And she actually called me this morning and she said, thank you, I now allow people in my home.
That's
and it's
awesome.
like, wow,
That's awesome.
It took all this for you to be proud. And I said, stand tall. This is my address. This is where I live. I work from home. This is my child, and this, and you know, I'm seeing changes and shifts in her self-esteem because own it.
Exactly.
And step up to the plate.
Exactly.
Her life is changing. She's manifesting things a little bit slower because she's now learning these techniques. But they're happening. The things are happening.
Exactly.
She is making more money. Her relationships are better. Life is changing. She's losing weight.
Exactly.
Everything is happening. And the reason why it's happening slower is because she's not doing it at this elevated level. And the universe needs to know specifically, what do you want? You need to get out on a piece of paper what exactly you want. And now that she's learning these techniques, it's all shifting and changing. It's really exciting.
It's true. It's what you want, and whether you call it the universe, whether you go to the universe, you go to God, whatever it is.
Exactly, your higher power.
Exactly. You gotta be precise with it. And the coolest thing is like hearing about your clients. It's the new experience changed her life dramatically. And that's something that's touched on in this book as well. Right in the introduction, it blew me away. I took like forever to read it because I had to highlight everything.
I know.
But in our lives, we go through specific situations and experiences that hinder us and create limitations. So your client with the limitation of the judgments, the internalizing judgments and everything, not knowing, going through all these thoughts and everything, and then Andrea coming in, cutting that off with a new experience just blows this fear away of like your house. Like, I'm in your house, you're incredible. Like, why would I judge you? Why would I?
Yes.
And now this woman's growing out of it because of that one experience. There's so many experiences in our life that try to hinder us, but one positive one, aka whether that's manifesting, praying to God and asking for a blessing to come your way, and then He gives it to you.
Yes.
that changed your life. Like, all right, why not continue to move in this?
But be grateful though. That's another point.
Exactly.
I always say this, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural. That is the name of this book. This is like our Bible right now. And I do want to make a little note that this book isn't small. It's a big book, and this is what I love to read and clearly what you love to read. But if you guys don't want to get the book and read this entire book right now, friend him on Facebook. He's got little clips and posts and points, and he even does little manifestations and little meditations on Facebook that you can do for 5 minutes. So, and then going back to my friend, I just wanted to clarify, she thought she had a preconceived notion that I was going to judge her because she was prejudged by somebody else who did judge her home. And instead of saying, well, that's her problem, she doesn't like my home, and if she doesn't call me back because of where I live, because of her childhood trauma, she allowed that one person, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
She allowed that one person that she didn't even know, it was a mom in town, who judged her, to run the show.
Yeah.
To rule her brain,
Yeah.
to run her life and her heart and her energy field. And that blew me away.
Yeah.
That was big for me that she allowed that. For years,
Yeah.
I wasn't invited into her place.
Wow.
So when she shifted all that out, wow, profound. She's in such a great place right now. So.
It's incredible. You were a blessing to her. Changed her life dramatically.
Gratitude. So we were saying gratitude. See, I went off the tangent. So now she's grateful to her home, and she's buying things and fixing it up. And so when you become grateful for, I'm grateful for these talks, so the talks get better.
Yeah.
People are noticing the work. You're grateful for your client. My client just got me another client. So whatever you do receive, if you come from a place of gratitude, that's when you're building on your
No, exactly. It's so true. And that's in this book. And like we said, Becoming Supernatural, guys, there's one more piece to this that I think we need to talk about. But you touched on something prior to me talking that, like we said, this is something that we love to read, guys. That's why we bring it to you all.
Yeah.
You can, like, we're not telling you, hey, go read this book. It's going to change your life. There's tremendous amounts of books out there that can read. Whether you stick to the Bible, that's something big for me, where I learned that, and then taking that and running it to this stuff, Becoming Supernatural. It's like, all right, how else can I help more people? This is one of the books to read. If this isn't something, run with what we're putting out there in this video for you. Andrea helps people through life coaching, you offer so many things.
Thank you.
But I offer people life coaching skills to help them, and these new experiences that we try to give people to help them change their life dramatically. Whether that's a client we have or people we speak to, run with it. You don't have to go pick the book up if you don't choose to, but run with what works for you, but be thankful that that works for you and move towards something with that. Whether you run with the first thing of writing down your goals and continue to pursue that by taking action on them, to manifest them, and then connecting an elevated emotion, whether that is gratitude, whether it is like this is going to happen, you just get that confident factor. The third piece of that puzzle that I think is the biggest one that you'll find in this book, that you'll find in tremendous amounts of self-help books, the Bible, whatever you want to read, is trust the process. And I know that that's thrown around a lot. And when we were going over this topic to explain to you guys, I really think it's the third but most important step in this process, because you got to trust it, meaning when you're moving on it, be relaxed and enjoy the process. Be thankful it's happening, but be thankful that this is coming towards you, that your blessing is on its way to you. Trust it. Don't sit there, write it down. All right, elevated emotion. I'm going to be so happy about this. But the fact that you're running that through your mind, I'm going to be happy about this. I am. Like, yeah, you're going to be, but because you're so tense, like this is going to happen, this is going to happen. That's the biggest, I think, flaw that we go through in this process sometimes, because we want it so badly that it's like, why isn't it happening? And you want it so, why isn't it happening? It's going to happen, but you got to take the tension out of it, meaning trust the process, enjoy your life, and move towards it.
I agree with that, and there's actually another, you'll get there too. He also says the universe, you cannot put a time limit. So when you're doing this chart, this program with the letter and your elevated emotions and your intentions, you can't, I forgot to tell you guys this, you can't put within 6 months. Yeah. You can't put within a year. It will come, and it comes to you when it's supposed to, because I went through a process of, well, I'm doing all this work and what's going on? I'm running this and I'm running that and I'm teaching all these classes, but I want it to be a big package deal. And why is it so slow? I finally got it, light bulb.
Yeah.
It's so slow because it's supposed to be slow, because I'm still,
You're learning.
you know, you're learning, and I'm in the process, and like, this book came to me, and that book came to me, and this person came to me, and the videos began, and all these things. And now I really get it. I don't just get it, like, this is huge.
Yeah.
That there are all of these layers and
Exactly.
layers and layers. And you know what? If it all came to me 13 months ago, I wouldn't have been ready for it.
Exactly.
Now it's starting to blossom, and I love the word blossom, because you're putting out, you're manifesting all of these positive things. And we're not doing this just to have a you know, career and money, but we want to help people in the process.
Exactly.
We're helping people. So there are layers, and you know what? It might not come in 4 weeks, and it might not come in 6 months, but it will come at the right time.
Exactly.
You said the T word, which is my favorite word. Trust in the process. And another thing too, if you don't trust in the process, then it's probably not the field for you, whatever you're going for.
Yeah.
You have to believe it, own it, love it, and feel it.
Exactly. I agree with that so much. And, you know, it's true. If you, like, I learned to put time limits down with the goal aspect. And I think that what that does is just, it adds a little spark, a little fire under you. It's like, all right, it like takes the take action aspect. Where it's like, all right, if I'm going to write down my goal is to have this done in 2 years, I got to get to work, because if I really want to accomplish that. But it may not come to you in 2 years. It may not come to you exactly when you want it to. It's kind of just a way to light something under you. But trusting the process, believing that this is coming towards you. I always tell people, like, if they come to this topic, when they say, well, I said this prayer, why didn't God help me and all this stuff? What I learned through the process, when I try and help people when they bring these ideas to me, it's like, well, what have you done to get ready for that?
Yes.
I'm like, well, I haven't done anything. It's the same thing we're talking about right now, where it's like, well, if you're just going to sit in a chair and ask for this to happen, like, you're not doing anything.
Yes.
Like, your blessing won't come to you if you're not prepared. If I wrote down I want $3 million by the time I'm 18, like 10 years ago,
Yeah, what are you going to do about it?
All right, I'm going to blow my life away with that. I'm not going to
Yeah.
be prepared for that whatsoever.
Right.
And so I tell people, whether it's a prayer topic or whatever, when you're praying, like, pray, but be prepared for that to come to you, meaning get ready. But in the process of getting ready and manifesting your entire life coming together, you got to take action in and make it happen. Be responsible, the whole 9 yards of, like, this will come to you exactly when you want it to, which is when you're ready for it. Or when you need it to. I
Yeah.
shouldn't say when you want it to. When you need it to come to you, it will.
Yes, it will.
And it's like, you got to run that through you, where it's like, all right, I can't get upset because this didn't happen because I put a 3-month span on this. You may not be ready in 3 months, but hey, a year from now, you're more prepared. And that, like, I think sometimes that because of that, your blessing just becomes that much better, right?
It's just cliche. God doesn't give you what you can't handle, and I don't mean that in the problem sector.
Yeah.
I mean that, like, you're not going to get all this money and that job and that relationship overnight, because your body, your energy field cannot handle it right away.
Exactly.
All of those, whatever you're shooting for, it's gonna be in layers.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be slow, and it's gonna take time. And I've read, there's quite a few examples in this book.
Yeah.
And also about, like, really tough stuff. Remember Anna, the
Yeah,
health,
yeah,
and all that.
exactly. Yeah, yep.
It took years, but not everything takes years. It depends on the problem. That woman had to learn
Exactly.
to stop being a victim.
Yeah.
You know, this kid had to stop asking for money and saying, let me see if I can do this on my own.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to trust the process and believe in it.
Yeah.
You have to be a believer.
You gotta
I'm
believe.
such a, I've seen it before my eyes.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you said, when you said 13 months, that you've taken tremendous action in 13 months. You've pursued these goals. You're making it happen. Your clientele is growing. And it's like, that's a 13-month span. When you look in the grand scheme of things, that's nothing. And the action and, like, incredible aspects that have come into your life in a 13-month span is proof that this stuff, like, put it out there. It works.
Put it out there. It works. And you know what else too? If anything, even if you're not a full believer in it, when you start to do this little bit of, I'm going to call it journaling, when you take your notes and you write down whatever your bullet points, it feels great. Are you going to spend the rest of your life just wishing, and not me, it's not, never going to happen to me, it seems to be happening to him or her? Well, that feels icky inside.
Yeah.
And to elevate your emotions, you start writing it down. you do start to visualize.
Yeah.
Because then you get to see it. You do start to see it. And when you see it, you're almost creating your biography and your story.
Yep.
And as soon as you get it on print,
Yep.
I'm not even going to get into it because we're running out of time, but I have already done my page.
Yeah.
And things have already unfolded, which
Oh,
maybe we'll bring up in our next clip.
No,
in 2 weeks, it's already unfolding, and I'm super excited because I'm going to ask for more in a healthy, positive, grateful way to help my family. There's more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with that so much because in my workshops I got one coming up in West Bridgewater, guys. You can join April 20th. I have there's a whole goal section in there where I have everyone write it down because that starts it. If I can write it down, it's not in here anymore. It's tangible. That just became real. And then in the entire goal setting process, we close out the workshop with it. It lights the fire. What we do is we visualize everything to light a fire on us about what it's going to feel like when we get there, when we get the blessing we're moving towards, and then light a fire under us in what would happen if we don't achieve it. But that could be a whole nother topic. But it's incredible, guys. But like you said, we're running out of time. But guys, in this entire manifesting topic, there is so much power there. First step, write them down. Grab a pen, grab a piece of paper right now. When this video is done, write down what you want to accomplish, what you want out of this life. Be precise. Be specific as you can to what you truly want. And that takes time. It's not just going to come to you. If you want to be specific, you're going to have to sit there with it and actually feel what it's going to feel like.
Yeah, feel it.
And then, step 2, an elevated emotion, connect it to what you want to feel, your happiness, your joy. Be so grateful in the fact that you have an opportunity now to start the process of moving towards something. Take action on that. Connect it with that elevation mode. Take action, move forward with this stuff. And last but not least, trust the process. This is not a tension-filled topic. This is, I get so happy talking about this stuff because there's so much power there. And that's at our fingertips.
That's why your life is unfolding. You have elevated emotions.
Yeah,
see?
right?
It does work.
But trust the process. Enjoy this stuff, guys.
Yeah.
And Becoming Supernatural. Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's a big book. You don't have to read it. You can take these messages that we have. But guys, I highly recommend you go pick it up.
It's a life-changing book, though.
It really is.
It is.
It's even for me, some of the stuff in here, I said, like she touched on, she's much farther in this book than I am because I highlight, I indulge. I'm on page 8. And what happens in the introduction and the 8 pages I've read in chapter 1 is so incredible. Yeah. Becoming Supernatural, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Andrea, I thank you so much for being back on the show and having this message with us.
Love it. I love it. You guys manifesting. One more thing real quick. If any of you want to try this, try it. We're not meeting for another 2 weeks. Even if it's something small that you had wished for, that you did the plan, write it in the comments. We would love to. We'll respond. If you guys could write some things in the comments, it helps us grow and send this message to more people.
Definitely.
So, thank you guys. But writing it down and then we can respond and sort of play with it, it's going to make everything bigger and those things that you want and need will come to you because you're putting it out there. So thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Have a great day.
You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made.